Let's go, boys! Episode 2 of The God of High School. This episode greatly improves on my main problem with the first episode, which was the pacing. This one gives you way more time to get invested into everything that is happening. But before I talk any further about this episode, there are 3 things I gotta mention first. The first being, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe with notifications on for more of that sweet God of High School content. Y'all already know the deal with that one. But secondly, I wanted to talk about the God of High School opening. In my video on episode 1, I went on for a while about not disliking the opening, but not really liking it either. I said that Yonha should have been the one to make the OP for this first season. Now, while I still feel that way, Yonha definitely should have been the one to do it. I will die on this hill. While I still do believe that, I'm not gonna lie, after listening to Contradiction again, which if you don't know is the name of the actual OP, but yeah, after listening to it again, I really like it now. Again, I didn't hate it before. I'd said it was kind of a vibe, but it's more than a vibe now. It's like a vibe plus, whatever the hell that means. Anyways, on to the third thing. I just wanted to shout out this art of Mori that I found on Twitter. It's quite good and I just wanted to show it off here. Also follow me on Twitter. With all that out of the way though, it is time now to talk about episode 2 of The God of High School. So this episode starts out with the Pentagon, and they're gazing in awe at the remote island from the previous episode. You know, the one that looks like it had been smashed by a massive hand? Anyways, the president then asks if King Kong exists and just no one told him about it. Speaking of the president though, I was pretty curious as to what they were going to do here. What I mean by that is that in this scene in the webtoon, the president is Obama. So I was curious if the anime was going to keep him as Obama or update it with the times or go with someone completely new. And they went with option 3, which is the option that I had a feeling that they were going to go with. But back to the story. After the president asks about King Kong, we then see 2 older gentlemen in the back talking about what had happened to the island. And even though they don't want to believe it, they can't help but think that this was caused by Cherry-Oak. Now, in no way am I going to explain what that is, because that would be a massive spoiler. I'm shocked that they mentioned Cherry-Oak here, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, they don't talk about that in this scene in the webtoon. Like, they hinted at it and stuff, but I'm pretty sure the name drop happened much later. But back to the story. Just then the lights begin to flash red and an alarm goes off. They don't say it here for whatever reason, but the reason this stuff is going on is because there is an intruder on the premises. The men start to evacuate the president, but suddenly the lights switch back to normal and the alarm stops. When that happens though, the door to the room opens and a man walks through. Almost everyone points their gun at this intruder, commanding him not to move. The president stops his men from taking him away and asks for the identity of the intruder. He answers telling the president that he is from the Republic of Korea National Assembly, and his name is Park Moojin. Cue the opening. The episode then gives us the conclusion of the fight between Mori and Gang, because as hopefully all of you know, the last episode ended on a cliffhanger. Mori and Gang were both in the air about to continue their battle. In this episode, we find out that before the two of them could do anything, Mira jumped up behind Mori and snapped his neck. And let me tell you, I love this scene because it's basically 100% accurate to what happened in the webtoon, from the neck snapping to the face. Well, actually, the face that she makes in this scene isn't the face that she made when she did this scene in the webtoon, but it is the particular face that I have been waiting for. Bro, she finally made the face! They almost had me. I was almost convinced that Mira's manly face wasn't going to make it into the anime adaptation, but Mappa came in with a clutch. When I saw her make that face, I'm gonna be completely honest, I was jumping for joy. I was so happy. But this leaves me wondering why they didn't include this in the first episode, you know, during the chase scene. But hey, I ain't complaining, because I didn't even think that we were going to get this face, and then we did, so I'm happy. Anyways, the nanotech heals Mori, and Mira reveals the only reason that she snapped his neck is because she couldn't really see him, because her glasses had been destroyed, so she thought Mori was Gang. After that, she, Mori, and Han all walk home, sort of, together. Mori then asks what the other's reasoning is for participating in the God of High School. Mori is doing it because he wants to fight all kinds of different people and get stronger while doing so. We then get the shortest look possible at when Mori had faced off against one of the judges when he was trying to give Mori the invite. Listen, don't get me wrong here, this fight was short in the webtoon as well. However, in the webtoon, this scene was meant to show a glimpse at how powerful the judges are, as well as show a glimpse at how powerful Mori is. Here, it's just like a funny flashback scene. It's still good and it still works, but I don't know, I guess I was just kind of hoping for more. But back to the story. So Han then reveals after a series of short flashbacks that his reason for participating is money. Speaking of Han though, I'm wondering if they're waiting till he has his individual fight to show off his backstory. I'm thinking they are because they haven't shown it yet and that's a prime time to do it, but if it doesn't happen there, then that means it probably won't be shown at all, which would be insane. So I'm hoping it does happen in his individual fight because I want to see that talk with his friend in the hospital and him beating up the bullies animated. Moving on to Mira though, through a series of short flashbacks, we learn she's participating to revive the family's sword dojo. It's the same thing here with Mira as it is with Han. I mean, she gets a lot of backstory here that I'll talk about soon, but I'm wondering if we'll get more in her individual fight. Anyways, after hearing Mira's whole thing about the dojo, Mori steals Mira's sword to get a closer look at it. She charges at him yelling, "Give it back," surprising Mori, which causes him to accidentally throw the sword into the water under the bridge they're standing on. He immediately apologizes and is about to say, "I'll get it," but Mira slaps him in the face and tells him to leave right now. Mira then searches for the sword alone in the water. While searching, she remembers the words of her mentor telling her not to let the Moonlight sword style die out, and to find a strong successor no matter what. We then see that Mira devoted most, if not all of her time to this sword style, to finding a strong successor, and that is her one and only wish. Just then, Mori appears offering an extra set of hands. She apologizes to him, explaining that sword was a gift from her late father. Mori then encouragingly tells her that they better find it then. After that, Han shows up with a massive light that he borrowed from work so they can all look in the water together under the light. This scene was pretty cool in the webtoon and I liked it a lot, and the anime's version is as good if not better because it has the added benefit of music, voice acting, animation, etc. But moving on to the second most important part of the episode, Go versus Gang! Also, if there's anyone out there confused about why I'm calling him Gang instead of Kang, it's because in the webtoon his name is Gang, and for whatever reason they changed it to Kang for the anime. Stupid. Anyways, on to the fight. Actually, there's one thing I gotta mention first. In the waiting room before the fight, Go, Gang, and Mori all had a little interaction that was quite cool. I just wanted to mention it here because it kind of plays into what happens later. But now we actually get into the action. So it starts out with both Go and Gang in the ring, with the announcer going over the rules of the fight. Before said fight begins, Go tells Gang that he has strayed from the path of the martial artist, and that if Gang does not release his arm restraints, he will surely regret it. The battle then begins with Go taking a tremendous lead. He lands numerous hits on Gang, then sends him flying out of the arena. However, Gang is nowhere near hurt by these attacks. In fact, he is amused. Go then lands another attack on Gang, but his follow-up is blocked by one of Gang's arms. Gang then stretches his arm, acknowledging Go's strength and admitting that he cannot beat him with kicks alone. The battle continues, this time with the tides shifting tremendously. Gang is now on a whole different level and he beats the shit out of Go. It is then revealed that the type of fighting style that Gang is using is known as Northern Style Taekwondo. It's a style where anything goes. It's a style made for survival in the art of war. Gang's onslaught continues, but Go retaliates with a yin-yang balance strike. However, this move is easily repelled by Gang and sends Go flying. Gang then starts slapping the ever-loving piss out of Go, because he wants him to say, "Please forgive me." He wants Go to beg for his life and ask for forgiveness like he once had to. By the way, that blue-haired dude, yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing further, but just that blue-haired dude. Keep an eye out for him. Anyways, even after Go has been horribly battered, he still refuses to beg for forgiveness, stating simply that he will never do it. Gang then removes his other arm from his restraints, and then proceeds to break both of Go's arms. Bro, does anyone else remember that scene in Hunter x Hunter where Gon fights Hanzo? And does anyone else remember how Hanzo goes to break Gon's arm, and they don't show it? You just hear the breaking sound? Yeah, it ain't like that in the God of High School, okay? You get to see everything, and golly, is it vicious. But just when you think that Go is about to get brutalized even more, Mori kicks Gang in the face, sending him flying into one of the corners of the arena. Gang gets up and tries to attack, but Mori kicks him in the face again, this time hurtling him out of the arena. However, before Mori can do anything else, the judges stop him in his tracks. He has committed a severe violation of the rules by interfering in someone else's match, so he must come with them quietly. As this is happening though, a dark energy begins to flow from Gang as he gets up. We then get another Gang flashback where he is confronted by a mysterious figure that asks if he wants power. However, it is later revealed that Gang did not meet the expectations of this mysterious person, so the person calls him a loser and dips. Back to the present, Gang in rage kicks this dark energy at the arena. One of the judges blocks it, and another is about to take action, but Mori is already ahead of him. Gang and Mori then clash in the air, and then Mori uses the renewal Taekwondo triple kick, devastating Gang. He then follows it up with a tremendous kick to the face, which sends Gang straight down into the arena. Mori lands safely, but proceeds to be forced onto his stomach by some mysterious force. And that force just happens to be coming from none other than Park Muchin himself. Park grabs the mic and he announces that since Mori has violated the rules, he will be punished. In the meantime, the tournament will continue as planned. The episode ends with Mori being taken away by 2 judges. My word, man, this episode was amazing. The whole back half of this episode was it was mind-blowing. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody!